Speed should be 1.25. In just 5 years, one-third of Europe vanished. Bodies piled in streets. Cities fell silent. This was the Black Death, the pandemic that rewrote human history. It began far from Europe, in the dry grasslands of Central Asia. Around the year 1346, a deadly bacterium named Yersinia pestis lived inside fleas, carried by black rats that followed trade caravans across the Silk Road. As trade connected continents, so did death. By October 1347, 12 Genoese ships arrived in the Sicilian port of Messina. When locals went to unload the cargo, they found something horrifying. An estimated 25 to 50 million people, roughly one-third of Europe's population, were gone. But it wasn't just the death toll that changed the world, it was what came after. Laborers were suddenly scarce. For the first time, peasants realized their work had value. Wages rose. Feudalism, the old system where peasants served nobles, began to collapse. The plague also shattered faith in institutions. The Catholic Church, unable to stop the disease, lost credibility. Many priests died ministering to the sick, others fled. People began questioning religion, power, and medicine itself. It was the beginning of new thought, the seeds of what would later become the Renaissance. The disease didn't disappear. It returned again and again in 1353, 1361, and through the next 3 centuries. Entire villages vanished, yet from this darkness came new understanding. Doctors like Guy de Chauliac, who survived the plague in Avignon, began observing symptoms carefully: fevers, black swellings, and the speed of contagion. He noted that it spread through contact and breath, one of the earliest clues to infectious transmission. Cities started building quarantine zones. The word quarantine comes from the Italian 40 giorni, meaning 40 days. Ships arriving in Venice were held offshore for 40 days before anyone could disembark. This simple measure slowed future outbreaks and became the foundation of modern public health. The Black Death also changed art and culture. Europe became obsessed with death, a theme called Danse Macabre, or the Dance of Death. Painters filled churches with images of skeletons, leading kings and peasants alike to the grave, a reminder that death spares no one. Writers like Geoffrey Chaucer and Petrarch described a world transformed, quieter, emptier, but also newly aware of life's fragility. Even architecture changed. The rise of hospitals, new burial grounds, and open marketplaces reshaped the medieval city. But the story doesn't end there. Modern science would later confirm that Yersinia pestis, the same bacterium, caused the Black Death. In 1894, 2 scientists, Alexander Yersin and Kitaso Shibasaburo, identified it during a plague outbreak in Hong Kong. DNA evidence found in medieval graves now proves it beyond doubt. Today, that same disease still exists, but antibiotics can cure it if treated early. Yet the lesson remains. Global connection spreads not only goods and ideas, but also invisible killers. The Black Death destroyed medieval Europe, but from its ashes, a new world was born, one that valued science, labor, and life itself. History reminds us, every pandemic changes more than people. It changes civilization.